Number 182 in the Radiance range is The Double from 1971, directed by Romolo Guerrieri, who is a filmmaker that I haven't come across before. So I don't know if there's any other works in his filmography that really stand out. All I can take from this movie is that this film is weird, trippy, it's all about atmosphere, it's all about masculinity. It has some wonderful thematics throughout it and is a real trippy film, otherwise known as La Contafutura. This film starts off in a really interesting way. So you have Jean Sorel playing Giovanni, a man who at the start of this one gets shot in an underground car park, and the film keeps returning to this moment, and it becomes the sort of memories of this man, what led him to this moment. It becomes like a fractured memory. There are fantasies within it, there are strange additions, there are repetitive scenes throughout it. It's not so much clues as a barrage of different thoughts, and it really does have that visual style of a man having his life flash before his eyes, and that is really fascinating for me when watching this one. Now, Jean Sorel as Giovanni is perfect for this kind of film. He has this kind of polished, elegant, slightly unreadable quality to him, but he seems like a man that should have control over his life, but quite clearly there is a deep-seated insecurity within him. Yes, he's handsome and he's composed and he's got money, it's nice and easy, but underneath that there is something inherently wrong with this character.
Oh, insomma, cosa ho fatto di male? Quello passava, si è fermato per accendere una sigaretta e ho saputo che si chiamava Elio.
Lo vuoi capire che sei mia moglie? E che non puoi fare l'occhietto al primo che passa? Lo vuoi capire, sì o no?
Senti, se ricomincia a fare il geloso io ti pianto.
He is at some stages victim to his own psychology. He sees things that aren't there. He fantasizes about things that he would like to do that are not normal. When the film starts to fracture, it fractures because he is stressed and pushing himself to the limits. There are some other great performances in it as well. Aulin, who I hadn't seen anything before either, brings this incredible energy to the film. She has this almost ethereal presence that immediately makes the world feel less stable. She is most definitely a focal point for Giovanni and almost everyone else within the film, but there's a kind of fantasy aspect to her, and Aulin fits that role perfectly. She isn't just there as a decorative figure, she adds that kind of dreamlike quality to the film. The film has a kind of eroticism to it, but not in a simple glamorous way. Again, it is more performance led and more artistically shot, I would say, throughout a lot of it as well.
No!
One of the things that really got me and I thought was incredible is the title of the film, The Double. And the idea of the double is incredible because throughout the whole film there is this whole doubling effect. It becomes a way we look at characters where it kind of changes scenes. The desire that creates doubles, the memory itself which almost kind of doubles itself. A person becomes reflections of themselves. A murder that seems like one thing changes and becomes something else. It has this whole doppelganger feel to it, where it almost feels, and I would say very lightly thematically, as though it's eking into giallo elements, but it's very much not that at all. What I really like about the director here is Guerrieri has given the film an elegant but very fractured style. It isn't one of those kind of films that relies purely on outrageous and dramatic driven sequences. It's more controlled. There is an elusive nature to the story here. It keeps returning to that car park shooting, just reminding you that what we are seeing is fractured memories of a man who could be dying. And I love that aspect of it. The film definitely has this almost hypnotic quality to it. You're not following a plot, you're living through a mental state that is slowly degrading away and becoming more fractured. It's the style and the atmosphere of the film that is just wonderful. You get incredible locations and wonderful interiors and all that. Costuming is all fantastic, but there is something disquietly discomforting about everything. Everything feels cold underneath, and it looks immaculate, but emotionally it feels devoid. People are dressed well, they are moving through lived in attractive spaces, and yet there seems to be a lack of stability through everything here. And the surface is all polished, but the soul is deeply damaged. And I think that was a terrific idea that I gleaned from the film. Giovanni himself, he, like I said, he seems like a solid character, but he is not as in control as he thinks he is. He is not even fully stable at the centre of the character, and the eroticism in that nature is tied directly to him. It becomes part of Giovanni's collapse. The desire that he has, the jealousy that drives him a lot, that fuels his ideas and his memories, is toxic and wearing away at his self. That's where the paranoia creates this almost doubling factor, and the film starts to feel genuinely uncanny at moments. For me, I love the mood and the atmosphere that was here. It's a film that definitely gets under your skin, and I'm not watching it for the plot, I'm watching it for the sadness and the kind of emptiness that's there behind that eroticism, that giallo like feeling that's almost there. You know, there is a mystery box aspect to this, but it's not the driving force for the film. I don't think this is going to be for everyone, because if you want a kind of typical movie with a straightforward plot, you're not getting that here. Everything is a little bit twisted and a little bit unusual, and it has that kind of unique feeling to it. But I think those are all strengths to the film as well, and one that really jumped out at me and really made me sit up and pay attention. Really enjoyed this one. Quick 90 minutes, and it just delivered this all-encompassing atmosphere, this mood, this changing direction for the characters that really did emotionally affect me as well. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for the double. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have an audio commentary by Tim Lucas. Then we have Romolo, Guerrieri and Aulin. In this archival interview, director Romolo Guerrieri and star Aulin share their experiences of making the double. Filmed in 2013 and 2017 and newly edited exclusively for Radiance in 2026. And this runs for 14 minutes 25 seconds. And what I like about this is two separate interviews done at different times, but they're really edited together to highlight what each of them are saying. So when they're talking about dealing with the actors, it cuts to Ua talking about the relationship and how he directed them on set, and it's just a back and forth created, which is just really interesting, and it's good to see them talking about this film, which I have a bit of passion for. Next we have Stephen Thrower. In this interview, Italian film expert and author Stephen Thrower offers an appreciation of the double's unique thematic and stylistic elements. Filmed exclusively for Radiance Films in April 2026, and this runs for 26 minutes 2 seconds. Now, Stephen here goes through the film. He's looking at the cast, where they were in their careers, the various aspects of it, the kind of idea of the Italian name versus the English title, various aspects of the film and how it can be interpreted. And there's another good talking head. Then there is the stills gallery. Also included in this set is a 20-page booklet which has the usual casting crew and the transfer notes, and one article, Compelled to Death in the Double. An essay by Nathaniel Thompson from 2026. That's the extras for the double. There we have it. The double is out now. It really worked for me. It was stylish, it was seductive and uncanny, and far more psychologically interesting than I expected it to be, and that was its saving grace. It just jumped out as something unique and different. I mean, who doesn't want that when they're watching a film for the first time? I would love to know your thoughts on the double, whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on this film, if you've picked up or if you've seen it before. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program and manvfilm.com, always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.